I have so much to do this week, but everything has the same impact no matter what. So I'm just gonna do them one by one and get it over with. Do you know the 80-20 or Pareto principle? Vilfredo Federico Damaso Pareto, yeah, he was Italian. He's a philosopher and economist born in the 18th century in Italy. One day, he noticed that a vital few pea pods, around 20%, 1 out of 5, were producing the majority of all the peas in his garden. Around 80% of the whole production came from 20% of the pea pods. Where does this even distribution come from? And then he thought about wealth and noticed that in Italy, 80% of the lands were owned by 20% of the population. Then he investigated different industries and noticed that 80% of the revenues were coming from 20% of the clients. This predictive imbalance can be generalized. 80% of your results will come from 20% of your action. And this applies to your daily life. I mean, 80% of the time I'm using 20% of my wardrobe. Or on my smartphone, I'm using 80% of the time, 20% of my apps only. I really love backpacking, and I also noticed that 80% of the time, I'm using only 20% of the content of my backpack. I'm gonna use a much smaller backpack next time. Also, what are the other examples where you see the 80-20 rule apply to your daily life? Add them to the comments below. Let's focus and see, focus, F-O-C-U-S, okay? So let's focus and see how this can be applied to time management. How to focus on these 20%. If you list 10 things that you have to do today or this week, around 1, 2, or 3 of these actions will drive most of your results. So it's about identifying these priorities and disciplining yourself, tackling these priorities first until they're done. I know these tasks may be the most difficult ones, and we tend to procrastinate and put them at the end of our task list. But if managing and tackling them makes you feel accomplished, then the rest can wait. Too often we are struggling with our time because we don't know how to let go things that have a lower impact. So let's put yourself in a situation. You're working on something. How can you spot that what you're working on is actually among these 20% of very impactful tasks? So if you find yourself always working on something urgent, or spending more time than expected on a task, or if you don't feel accomplished overall after completing this task, or if you keep spending time on tasks that you are good at and you enjoy doing, it's a trap. I mean, sadly, being good at a task doesn't mean that it has a great impact, right? That would be too easy. Then I have bad news for you. You are on the 80% not impactful. But on the opposite side, if you find yourself working on a task that you know is aligned to your goal and you know has an impact, or if completing a task makes you feel really happy that it's behind you, oh yeah, that feels good, then in that case, you may be in the 20% of very impactful tasks that are aligned to your goal and truly make a difference. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you should stop completely doing these remaining 80%. I see what you're doing here. I see trying to find a way to get out of work, right? It doesn't mean that you can go to work on Monday, tackle everything that is important, and take 4 days off. Done. It is just a way to be conscious of the impact of your tasks and really concentrate on the value added. I'll post a video soon about what I call value added. Just do it. List all the tasks that you have at hand. Assess the priority of these tasks and prioritize them. Start working on the top priority that is the most impactful. Once the task is completed, assess your level of accomplishment. This is a truly powerful tool. Let's give an example of an average business day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Let's say you start working on the very important task from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I assure you, at noon, you're gonna feel so accomplished that you could almost leave work and still be very happy about everything you achieved. Don't show this video to your boss, please. In reality, it doesn't work that way, right? You may have a contract and you need to stay until 5 p.m. Then in that case, you still have these 5 remaining hours that you can continue accomplish great things, and you will be on top of your schedule and you will achieve great results. Try it out. Let me know if this 80-20 rule works for you, and let me know in the comment section of this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it's valuable for you and it helps you getting back in control of your own schedule. See you for the next video.